everyone. Welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks. Comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I'll talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen, folks, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be sitting down for our first NFL mock draft. Yes, we're going to be doing a live mock draft Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on this channel. We'll be, making selections for the New York Jets and figuring out how we can fix this football team, all right? I'll be taking calls. You'll be able to fight for the guy that you want to see drafted by the New York Jets as we continue to go through the rounds. We'll be talking, going back and forth. The savages in the chat are going to go crazy. Look, just join your boy. Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. Be there or be square, all right? And again, call in. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the Jets offensive line. Woo. This offensive line needs a little bit of work, all right? When you look at all the things the Jets have surrounding everything that they've got going, even some of the moves that they made, you've got to wonder, hey, this offensive line still has some pieces that need to be added to it, especially when, according to all these things, rumors and swirling, and we're in the works to get Aaron Rodgers. At some point, that deal's going to be done, all right? So we need to make sure that he's protected. We also need to make sure that our running game gets back to where it needs to be, and a lot of that is opening up holes. Our offensive line needs to be better. So I'm going to start off talking about some of the guys that are projected to be starters right now. Some of the guys that we currently have on the roster. Not everybody, just our projected starters. And then I'll start to talk about the draft and other possible options out there in free agency, additions that we can make. So first guy I'm going to start to talk about here when I talk about this offensive line is the guy I think that has some of the biggest question marks surrounding him on this offensive line, which is Mekhi Becton. Whoa. Mekhi Becton has some big questions surrounding him. We all know 2 seasons ago, he had Greg Van Roten thrown into the back of him, jacked his knee up, and he was done the rest of that season. Now, this past season, he comes back. Everybody, is kind of excited. Everybody's ready to see him. And things just kind of went off the rails, right? Comes back. There was a lot of talk about him being out of shape. A lot of people writing at leaks, supposedly from within the team, saying that the coaching staff was upset with him and not happy with his lack of work ethic and all these different things. And the knee just didn't hold up. He ended up fracturing his knee before the season even started. And then, was out for a long time. Now, there was a point in time where, so according to reports, we were supposed to get him back. And he was supposed to come back and play this past season. That never happened. And depending on who you believe, okay, because Duke Mayweather, a guy that's pretty close to Mekhi Becton, came out on social media, I remember this vividly, and basically said Mekhi Becton was never coming back that season. And whatever type of knee injury, and specific to his injury, whatever it was, he was never coming back because it just wasn't right. He was never going to come back that season. And whatever smoke that was being blown about him returning, it wasn't going to happen, right? So he never ended up coming back, and then he took a seat for the rest of the season, ended on the IR. And boy, did the fan base explode, called him lazy, said he, was trash and all this other stuff, right? Now, you look at him this upcoming season, and he's looking phenomenal. Okay, this guy's in the gym. He's working out like crazy, posting pictures every day. He is slim, trim, and ready to go. And I'm telling you right now, I know that there's a lot of Jets fans that want to move on from him. Comment down below how you feel about Mekhi Becton. I know I'm going to hear it. But you will not find a bigger Mekhi Becton fan than me. You won't. You won't, all right? I know people can't stand it. Highway 77 will be open, and I'm telling you, he is going to destroy people this upcoming season. He's going to destroy people, and he is going to lay waste to all the naysayers and the haters. I'm telling y'all. Now, there's a big question. There are actually other 2 big questions surrounding him. Where is he going to play? Left tackle or right tackle? right? And a lot of that is depending on who's still here and who may occupy that left tackle spot. And I'll get to that in a second. But there's another question as well: is will Joe Douglas sign his fifth-year option? That's coming up in May. I believe by May 2nd, they have to figure out whether they're going to give him the fifth-year option. If they do decide to give him that and sign him to that fifth-year option, the New York Jets will pay him $13.5 million. That will be fully guaranteed for the 2024 year. That'll keep him here throughout that year. Now, would I do that if I was Joe Douglas? Yes. I believe that Mekhi Becton showed us tremendous ability that first year. He was stuffing and destroying everybody. Bosa, Chubb, all those guys. He made them look like scrubs. He was destroying them. Now, I know these past 2 years have been tough. He's been dealing with knee injuries, but again, he had a guy thrown into the back of him. Okay, it wasn't like he just was walking, out of the parking lot and then boom, his knee fell apart. No, that's not what happened, bro. He had somebody thrown into the back of him. It was a freak type injury. The guy's ready to go. He's in shape. He's in a better mental space as well. He said that too. And I'm excited to see him going forward. So I hope the Jets give him the fifth-year option, and I hope we continue to go forward with them, whether he plays left tackle or right tackle, right? Laken Tomlinson's the next guy. He was terrible last season. He was terrible. I'm going to keep it all the way a buck with you. Okay, he was bad. He was real bad. And I know there's a lot of Jets fans that wanted to get rid of him. This offseason, they wanted to cut him, but it would cost the Jets an excess of $9 million. I don't think they want to do that, right? But I'll tell you what, if he's bad again, if this left guard, Laken, is bad again, then he probably is going to be gone after this next season. So there's eyes to watch on him, but he's got to step it up. And I'm hoping that the enhancement of talent on this offensive line, the more we add, the better he'll play, the more it'll help him, particularly along the center position. Now, you look at the center position here, there's a gigantic hole. Connor McGovern, gone. He was trash anyway, right? Ben Jones is out there. He has yet to sign with the New York Jets, but we know that he, as of right now, I'm just filming this, again, free agency is constantly moving fast, that he is still a free agent. Now, he does have a connection to Keith Carter, our offensive line coach, the former Titans offensive line coach. So when you look at the situation here, I think this would be a great position to bring in Ben Jones. I like what he could bring to the table. We could also draft a guy as well, and I'll be talking about that in a second. But Ben Jones is a guy I want to see brought in here at the New York Jets center position. Next, ATV at right guard. ATV is unbelievable. Tore his triceps last season, ended the season on IR. He's coming back this year. He'll be dominant. I know there's a lot of talk. Some Jets fans want to move him to tackle. Not interested in that. We all know he can play every single position pretty much along the offensive line. We saw him at right tackle, left guard, right guard. We've seen it all except for center. But I don't want to move him around like that. I want to keep him to where he is dominant at, and that's at guard. Let him do his thing. Let him be there. So I'm good with that, right? He's going to come back. He's going to be dominant this upcoming season. Now, when you look at the situation here, Duane Brown. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh, Duane Brown. There's been a lot of talk about him, okay? Duane Brown, as of right now, again, is still on the Jets roster. A lot of people thought that we would get rid of him, but he's still here. And the way he's being talked up, surrounding, his situation, especially with this coaching staff, is kind of looking like this guy is going to be the New York Jets starting left tackle. Because Sulla has talked about how he loves him, how he's a freaking rock star, how he played through the shoulder injury last season, how he could have, rolled it up and walked away, but he didn't. He just played through the injury. And he said himself, a lot of players in this league would not have done what he did and would not have played through the type of shoulder injury that he had. So it sounds like to me that he's coming back and that he's going to be the New York Jets starting left tackle, because Duane Brown don't play right tackle, dog. He don't. He plays left tackle and left tackle exclusively. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward, but it looks like Duane Brown's going to be here if you listen to anybody on this coaching staff, particularly Robert Sulla. Now, there could be some upgrades here. There could be some guys that we can go after, right? There's a possible trades that could be happening for the New York Jets, right? Possible. This is out there. Jonah Williams is a guy that the New York Jets could target. Now, Jonah Williams isn't, a top tackle in this league, but he's decent, right? He's solid. He's a solid left tackle. He's a guy that you can bring into the building. Again, Jonah Williams requested a trade from the Cincinnati Bengals. Once they brought Orlando Brown Jr. into the building, he said, bro, I'm good. Because Orlando Brown Jr. took that left tackle spot. They said, hey, we're going to move him to right tackle. He's like, no, I'm good. He requested a trade. So there could be a market there for Jonah Williams, and I think the New York Jets will probably be interested. But if it gets a little bit too high, then they'll walk away because there's other options as well in the draft. And that's where I think the New York Jets realistically will grab a tackle. Okay. And I think they'll probably take a tackle with their first pick. And the guy I'd love to see become a New York Jet is Paris Johnson. I love Paris Johnson. I love Paris Johnson from Ohio. I think he's phenomenal. Moved from guard to left tackle this past season there in school. And let me tell you something. He's just great. He looks like a natural fit, a guy that can move, decent, solidly athletic. He can just do it all. Let's just be serious here. Phenomenal tackle. I love what he brings. Now, again, we have Peter Skoronski as well, who's great, a technician. Great. I think he's going to be a very solid left tackle in this league, but I think he's probably going to be one of the top tackles taken off the board, right? And there's also talk that Paris Johnson could be gone before the New York Jets pick at 13 too. So there's other options as well. Broderick Jones, who this kid from Georgia is phenomenal. You want to talk about physical? Bro, this guy is a physical, okay? Like, once he gets his hands on you, boy, good luck to you, all right? And also Darnell Wright, all right? Darnell Wright is a guy I like too from Tennessee. He's a guy that could be brought in as well. I like what he brings to the table. Those are the Jets' options in the first round, that they could take, and I really like that. Now, when you look at the center position as well, because there's such a gigantic hole there for us, there's some guys on the board that I like too that I think the New York Jets can end up taking. John Michael Schmitz from Minnesota, who I think is the top center in this upcoming draft, is a guy I like as well. Joe Tippmann from Wisconsin, man. You want to talk about a guy that his measurables are just off the charts. 6'6", 313. Boy, I mean, he's the real deal. Like, so we got some guys as well. There's also Steve A, called Steve Avila from TCU, who's a guy that I think can come in here and really get it done as well. The thing about him, and there are a lot of people saying that he's going to be a guard, but he has played guard and center. He does have that versatility in his game. So he's a guy that New York Jets could look at as well. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about the Jets offensive line? Who do you think that they should take in the draft? I didn't mention a ton of guys from the draft because, again, this video will be going on for 45 years, right? But there's some guys. If there's some guys you'd like to see the Jets take in the draft, put them down below as well. And, we're definitely going to talk about how we can improve this offensive line. So you folks have a good one. Peace.